Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. And welcome back, everyone. There are so many different modalities out there to help you heal, help you feel better. It might surprise you when I tell you that one of them is sound, music. Now, think about this for a second. When you want to feel a certain way, what do? You usually put on music for whatever your goal is. I want to feel happy. Some of us listen to a song because we want to feel sad, want to take us back to some situation, whatever it might be. But music is therapeutic, and she produces sounds, i.e. music, that helps you heal. And I hope I'm explaining that, but that's what I've learned in my journey. And she's here. Love the name of her practice, Sounds of Well-Being. That's what it's all about. Susan Chaney, PhD, is here with us. How are you doing today?
Oh, very good, Scott. How are you doing?
Wonderful. It's great to have you back here. And music is medicine, isn't it?
It is, truly.
Hasn't there been a lot of research done on this over the years, too?
Oh, there's lots of research. In fact, actually, in this last, I think it was December, I believe it was the NIH had their annual meeting, and it was all about sound. So doctors and all kinds of people in the health industry were there presenting on the benefits of sound.
Yeah, we should probably break that down a little bit, because what is music? It's sound. It's a vibration. And if you want to go woo-woo alert, by the way, everybody, here we go. If you want to go deeper into it, it's all about energy. We're all energy. And what we experience in terms of feeling better, challenges, trauma, it's all about the energy within you. And that's what sound is. We're creating energy, i.e. a vibration. That's how we hear it. It's vibrating in the air. So when you help people feel better, either through their mind, their body, all of that, you generate sounds. And some may say it sounds melodic, like music. Others may say it's a sound. But either way, it works. How does it work? Is there a way to explain that?
So I'm using different instruments which have there's different hertz, and the tones can either be dissonant, so they make you feel maybe agitated or unhappy. And so what those tones are doing is breaking up any resistance, any built up energy. And then harmonious tones are meant to support, tonify, and help bring in energy into the body's systems.
What was the first moment for you where you realized the aha moment that, whoa, okay, this sound stuff, this is real, this works?
Well, I think when I caught COVID, it's like, okay, was taking the classes, and yeah, this stuff is working. I'm seeing some benefits with some of my practice clients I was doing at the time. And then when I caught COVID, it was like my neck was so swollen out. The glands were very painful. And I'm suddenly focused on my tuning forks, and it's like, I have got to try that on this. And it was immediate. It was within a minute. And the pain in my glands went down. The swelling went down. It was like, okay, I'm a true believer.
Well, that gets us to another point that we should bring up, that the stuff that we deal with, the stress, the anxiety, just all of that is what's making us ill and either chronically sick, maybe disease as well. Sure, there can be some genetics and other factors in there, but it's coming up with research more and more that it is our environment, what we're experiencing, gets into literally the cellular level, and that's what's making us sick.
That is very correct. I think there's so many noises that are going on in the background that we're not aware of. And once we kind of bring those into our awareness, we realize how much we're pushing out. And so if you have a way to release some of the stress, the sound healing will do that, and it's very beneficial. I think every client that I have I can say every client that I have that's walked in, they can at least expect to feel more relaxed when they leave.
I don't know how you could not. After experiencing a sound bath, and I think I shared with you once before when I first heard a sound bowl, it just stopped me in my tracks. And it was one note. It wasn't the intention of the place where I heard it wasn't sound. They just use it to start a meditation, but it was just one boom. And I'm like, whoa, wow, that was crazy.
Yeah, just using a single note, it helps to balance the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. Just one note can do a whole lot.
It's amazing. And it just goes to show why we love music so much, why music is so universal. And I had thought about this even deeper recently, that music goes back to when we were in the womb, even, where whatever your mom was listening to, you were listening to. And then we can't forget, what are you listening to as a kid? As a baby, before you're even born, you're listening to a rhythm. It's your mom's heartbeat, and everything's circulating. It's kind of crazy when you boil it down there. But this is nothing new. This has been centuries. They figured this out. I actually laugh inside that we're, finally, the mainstream here is talking about this stuff in 2024. The centuries. If not even before they figured this all out. This is how it works, how it heals, all of this. All these modalities, all the energy. It's nothing new. It's crazy, right?
Yes.
But it's wonderful that, people are open to it. What's your favorite instrument to play?
Well, it depends on client, but I have I have a new instrument that I've kind of discovered, and it's a 48 hertz weighted tuning fork, and it's advertised as the purr fork because it feels like a cat. Like, if I like to use it on the sternum, and it really feels like a cat is sitting on your chest. It's very
like purring on your chest.
Yes.
Well, I know that Zoom is probably not going to do it justice, but can you hit a note with that? Would we hear something with the vibration?
We may not. The tuning forks are kind of hard to hear. I'll try, but I'm not sure that this is going to pick up. Are you hearing anything?
Yeah, I didn't think so. I just figured we'd give it a shot. Zoom is very picky when it comes to. It's perfect for voice. It's fine-tuned for voice, but when you try to put instruments through or music played anywhere, it doesn't reproduce. Give it a try. You have a PhD in what?
It's in mythology and depth psychology. So it's about the stories we live by is basically what the study is. So it's like, no matter what religion or psychology or science, whatever it is, that's like your paradigm that you've created, and that's how you look at your life.
Is there a connection to what you do with music, sound healing?
I think in terms of when the client is coming in, and we go over the intake and some of the issues that arise. And so that's where the mythology, psychology comes in with the sound healing.
It seems like you're more plugged in than the other sound healers I've encountered. Just because of your credentials, the psychological aspect, it seems like you dive a little deeper into what somebody's thinking, what they're feeling.
Well, I've always been curious, of what makes people tick, what motivates people. And one of my favorite books is by Michael Lincoln. It's Messages from the Body, and it's like a study of every single disease out there. It can be from a rash, a broken bone, to different kinds of cancers. And he looks at what's the psychological meaning of it. And so it's the stories that we've told ourselves.
I have a question coming from Shelley in Oakland.
Yes.
She says, how do you know what to play?
Some of it's intuitive. I usually use almost all of the instruments I have. A lot of times I'll start off with the weighted tuning forks, which help to ground people. It helps to settle them in, not feel so nervous about the experience. And then a lot of times I'll move on to the Tibetan singing bowls. That's usually a very enjoyable treatment because I play those on the body. And so then you get to feel this deep vibration. It goes into the body. It goes, and actually the vibrations are going to go to where they're needed. And then I'll do the crystal singing bowls. So it kind of varies depending on what a person is presenting with and what they want to address and change. And typically I'll see clients for at least 4 sessions to make a shift. So,
name some of the other instruments. So I'm going to call it the tuning fork that we just saw.
Yes.
By the way, which looks like it came out of a Frankenstein movie.
Yes.
Something like that. But some of the other ones. So we have sound bowls. What else?
So there's the sound bowls, crystal singing bowls, the Tibetan singing bowls, gongs and drums, tuning forks. I use a rain drum. There's a whole bunch of chinksas, the Tibetan bell. There's just a whole bunch. And I'm sorry. I know that there are people who actually use their own musical instruments. So, because people are coming from such diverse backgrounds.
What I've learned today, even so far, and again, experience this type of healing, sound baths and all of that, that it's almost like a vibrational therapeutics, almost like a massage, when you're describing, putting the tuning fork on somebody's chest and they feel the vibration. Never knew this, like a deep tissue massage. Never even considered that.
Yes, it's people love it.
Wow. Like Reiki, yes. I don't know how familiar you are with that, but it's my understanding that similar to Reiki, where the energy goes where it needs to go, this is the same thing. The energy that you put out there by way of the sound goes where it needs to go to help heal somebody. Is it kind of the same principle?
It is. It's like the other day I had a client and I did a tuning fork. I think it was on his head and on the sternum, but he said that he felt it all the way down in the base of his spine. And was an issue that I was going to address as we progressed on, but so the vibrations really are going immediately to where the need is.
Wow. Going to grab a call. Can you hear us?
Yes. Good afternoon.
Hey, what's your name?
It's Tommy.
Tommy checking in from Searsport, Maine. Do you have a question for Susan?
Yes. I've been, kind of depressed lately, and someone told me that baths might help. That baths might help. Is that true? Is it something I should try?
So he said he's been kind of down, somewhat depressed, and somebody suggested that a sound bath might
sound bath,
be therapeutic.
Oh, it would. It's going to be very relaxed. I'm sorry?
I said, oh, cool.
Yes. I would definitely take advantage of it. It'll help relax you. You might even, if you're going, speak to the person who's doing it and maybe let them know, because they'll probably speak to everybody who comes in and maybe let them know what your situation is, and they could probably gear something towards that.
Oh, great. So then you would recommend it then. Good.
Oh, yes, definitely.
Thank you very much.
All right, Tommy. Thanks a lot.
You got it.
Bye. I didn't even... It's, again, music is medicine. That's what I'm getting here. It's you could be taking medication. There's a place for that as well. But, this holistic healing can really, truly make a difference in many different... What are some of the... we talked to Tommy there about depression. What are some of the other challenges that sound healing can help you with?
So, I worked with people. I have a client who had tremors, and so I was working with the client that way. I have people who have like emotional things they want to shift, maybe feeling angry, depression. There's certain things we can do with the reproductive system. Like if I've been working with a particular woman whose cycle is out of balance. It's just it's the whole gamut. TMJ, just everything. Digestion. I'm working with some people with digestive issues. I'm working with someone who has heartache. Losing a mate. There's just a bunch of different things we can address.
Would you say in the digestion situation that it's what they're experiencing is probably coming from something, be it stress, be it anxiety, something in their life is causing that?
Yes, most definitely.
Isn't it amazing how the body can heal itself if you give it what it needs or take away what it doesn't need, like stress and all that other stuff?
Right. Most definitely. Yes. And so like in terms of the digestive issues, if I was to work with someone, we would work on the physical digestion aspect of it. And then we're also going to work on those other layers. So what is it that maybe triggered this response? So there's a whole bunch of different ways to address that. We can use a couple of tones. So they're called intervals. Or we can use what's called triads. And so those are like chords of 3 different, mainly with the singing bowls and the Tibetan singing bowls.
You just brought back a memory.
Yes.
I want to share it because it's kind of, it's weird, but it's music related. So way back in the day, I was interviewing Linda Ronstadt. And she's in the studio and there was a glass there and she just wet the top of the glass. And just as she's hanging out, starts taking her finger and she's rolling it around the top and it's making music. And it's kind of what we're talking about here in terms of
right.
And I almost didn't want to interview her. I wanted to stop and just like keep doing that. That's really cool. Put the microphone down, even put it on the radio so people could hear what it was sounding like. And she was just like hanging out, just like it was kind of magical. The way the sounds came through. On your website, you have something called shamanic sessions. What is that?
So I work with people. I teach them the process of going on a shamanic journey. So I help them to facilitate. So that's also going to the underworld, that experience, and then also going to the upper world. And so in shamanic belief, we're in this middle space. So it's usually it's 5 sessions, and so I help person to go on the journey because I really want to enable everyone to be their own healer, to retrieve the information that's true to them.
Would you say, when you say we're in the middle area here, have you ever heard of the different dimensions, the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th? Is that sort of what you're talking about there?
Not, no.
Okay. Gotcha.
It's a slightly different cosmology.
Gotcha. I don't want to go, I'm not looking to go super deep here, but, I often wonder, the dimensions that we're in. Most of us, as I understand, in the 3rd, some of us crossing over to the 4th, some of us claim to have attained the 5th dimension where everything is just fantastic, wonderful. I guess we'll know when we get there. I don't know.
Yes, most definitely.
In terms of what you do with the sound healing, can you do that virtually for anybody?
At the moment, I'm not. I just have a better reaction or results oriented when it's one-on-one. It can be done, and I know there's people who do it, but myself prefer one-on-one sessions
Gotcha.
because I can use the weighted instruments on the body. And so then
Right.
I feel like we get more shifts that way.
Well, it seems that's what makes you different, because I never heard, even though I've kind of studied this, that you can put the instrument very close to somebody to feel the vibration like that. I've never heard that before. And I've talked with other sound healers. They've never mentioned that. So that's, that, and it totally makes sense. It's that, absolutely.
Yes, it's very transformative when you can feel it and then add in the dimension of also the sound. So
I'm going to pivot back to the shamanic healing. Got literally a minute left, but I got to go here. With that, do you believe that we all have spirit guides?
I think we do. Yes. So if you're open to it, reach out and connect. That's what they're here for.
And
give us guidance.
your interpretation of spirit guides, what could it be? Could it be, let's say, a relative that has passed on but is still energetically connected to you?
It could be. I guess if we go into the woo, I think that a lot of those connections, guides probably have been beings that we've known in other lifetimes. And that's kind of been my experience. This
will be for another podcast. Because I'm fascinated by it. I just want to open the door to that. Excuse me, maybe,
sure.
For the future. Susan, how does somebody find you? Best way to make an appointment? I know you're in Colorado, correct?
Yes, I'm in Southern Colorado, Alamosa, San Luis Valley. And the best way to reach me would be to email me at susan@soundsofwellbeing.net. You can call me, but I'm usually in and out of sessions. And that's 719-678-2225.
Fantastic talking with you. Learned a lot. Gotta tell you. So more fascinating than I ever thought, and appreciate you being here. And we'll dig in next time we get together.
All right, great.
Thank you. We'll be right back.
Are you ready for an adventure in personal growth? Do you desire greater adaptability to release outdated ideas and influences? Hi, my name is Susan Chaney, and I'm the owner of Sounds of Wellbeing. We offer one-on-one sound healing sessions, group sound baths, and shamanic counseling. I help my clients to explore new possibilities through vibrational therapeutics. Contact me at susan@soundsofwellbeing.net. Let's get started today and get in tune for the life you want to live.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned.
This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.